So my name is Karpinski. I'm the founder of the Femedic. We are a platform for women to get essential information about their health, to support each other and to organise on issues that matter. We treat health as a complete picture of factors rather than just being about the physical. So we know that health is more than just I've got this symptom, it could be a condition. It's about emotional factors, social, political, cultural, environmental, everything that makes up your experience of the world impacts your health. And so we address that in the way that we service health needs. I was working for a digital marketing agency and I was leading the content team. And in that role, I was on lots of healthcare projects, and I basically was always on projects as well that were aimed at women. So I saw that there were so many questions coming in about really general basic health questions that people should know the answer to, and those questions that weren't being addressed by competitor content. So I basically developed a methodology to find what are the gaps in the experience of competitor content that not servicing these needs properly. So I was creating this content for clients and it was doing really well, and then eventually I was like, actually, there's such a huge need here and I know how to do it and I know it works, so I should just do it for myself and for women that need it. So I take the combined contraceptive pill, which you have to take. I take the one that's 21 days in a row, then 7 days off. And I made a mistake on the first week of coming back on it, where I missed a pill, but I didn't realise what day I'd missed it. So I just saw that I was a day behind. So I was like, I've missed it at some point in the last 4 days, and I don't know what day it was. And in that time, I'd had unprotected sex with my partner. So I was like, I have to get the morning after pill. So I went to the morning after to the pharmacy and asked for the morning after pill, and they were just like, no, sorry, you can't have it. And they said, oh, you might already be pregnant. And I thought, well, isn't that the situation of everybody, going for the morning after pill? And then there was no sort of further discussion. It was just a stonewall. There was no emotion. It was just like, nope, sorry. And I sort of didn't really know what to do. And I didn't expect that. And I addressed that that's kind of the tip of the iceberg for women's experiences. There's women that have had way worse experiences than that. But if that is the tip of an iceberg of that, how horrific is this iceberg? We need to destroy it immediately. I kind of had this really nice incubator sort of environment to start the Femedic off. And at the start, it was really just me thinking about how I can service this need and do what I know how to do to achieve that very specific goal. Now the Femedic has grown to be more than it initially was, but what it initially was, which was a platform to normalise health taboos around these taboo topics, is at the core of everything that we do, and everything's emanated outwards because that foundation has been so solid. I think when you're doing something trying to run your own business for the first time and you're very good at one thing and you build the business around that thing, there becomes a point where you have to step away from that and say, actually, I'm really good at that, but I need to be more than that. And that's the stage I'm at now. I'm really good at content. I'm really good at making content people read. And I'm really passionate and sensitive to these issues that women face. I face them myself. But now, if it really wants to be a business rather than a platform, I really need to I've got another investor working with me at the moment, and I really need to build a more robust model. So I wouldn't say it was a low because it was ultimately useful, but the most challenging part has been going for funding, changing my mindset, and trying to figure out what are these operational elements I need, what rules do I want my employees to follow. You really have to think 3 steps ahead, 4 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead. So that's a challenge I'm facing at the moment, but a very necessary challenge. So when I started, it wasn't any women in particular. It was just I just felt so strongly about the fact that we should have this, and the sheer magnitude of the injustice was enough for me to be I'm going to fix this, or I'm going to do something towards fixing this. And as I've kind of grown through it, the women that I've met throughout this who are trying to do something else in the space, who are just creating things themselves, I found that really inspiring because there are really women who are just doing stuff, they're just making things with their hands, they're going and talking to people, they're sending out into the world, and people, that is the most inspiring. So that has kind of given me, again, this new energy to sort of move to this next level where I'm really looking at the business side of it. But yeah, it's fab. That's I always say that the best part of my job now is just meeting like really interesting women, because it's an issue we're all facing. Like often, like there is like working together. Obviously, like there's elements of competition sometimes. So you feel like you're part of something, which is what ultimately the Femedic is. We're creating a movement. We're making change, and we're saying to people like we've got this thing to solve this problem. We're making spaces for you online and offline to create this movement. So yeah, I see that as kind of like the first iteration of what will be in about 2 or 3 years. It is hard, but it's hard because it's worth doing. Like, don't feel like, oh, you know, I like this person's so much better than me and I can't do it. Like everybody thinks that, everybody feels that, especially when it's your idea. And when you're pitching for funding, like, it is brutal. Like I've been in like pitch clinics when investors are like, and what's your 7% return rate divided by 3 squared? I'm like, I don't know. But that's what it's like, because no one has any time. It's a competitive market, but like it's fine. Like just, you know, do the strategies you need to do to tend to yourself, but you will feel shit sometimes, but it is worth it.